from our heart, living from our core, living from our power, we all get more. We are powerful women.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alignment Summit. I'm Sue Erda. I'm your host for this event, and I am one of the publishers at Powerful You Publishing. And I'm so honored and grateful to bring these women to you. I know I keep saying it throughout this whole summit because it's true. I am just so honored to be able to introduce them to you because they have such incredible energy and such incredible information to share with you. And I know you're here because you love these topics and you are on your own journey of alignment. So listen carefully and you will learn something new that you can put into your toolbox and use every single day. And today I get the honor of talking with Brooke Rowe. And I know you're here because you like her topic, just like I do. Raise your vibes, the importance of embodying a high vibrational frequency. And that's been really important in my life. So I'm really excited to hear what Brooke has to say. So I'm going to read a brief introduction of Brooke and then we'll get started talking with her. Brooke Rowe is a Reiki master teacher, certified spiritual counselor, and medium, and she has a BA in criminal justice. She attended the University of North Carolina at Wilmington and Delphi University. Following her mom's suicide, Brooke's determination to break the generational curse led her to further explore the mystical arts and various cultural beliefs. Reiki is the healing modality that helped her overcome her traumatic grief and aftermath. Once able to help others, she worked in the mental health community as a mobile crisis responder in the hopes of saving lives. Brooke now has a holistic health practice in coastal North Carolina. And Brooke, I'm happy to welcome you today. How are you?
Thank you, Sue. I'm happy to be here. I'm honored and humbled. So thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. And I really do love your topic because I have learned to manage my own vibrational frequency. And it's been a life changer, really. So I know that whatever you're sharing is going to help many people in this audience. So I'd love if you would start, before we get into some of that stuff, talking about your own personal journey and how it led you to the deep spiritual connectedness that you now have.
Okay, so I believe I have always been empathic. I recognized at age 4 or 5, maybe, that I could feel other people's intentions and their feelings in my own body. And somehow I knew their state of being. And of course, I didn't have the language for that or cognitively understand that, but I just had that ability. And that subsided until about the age of 22 when my mom committed suicide. And her death really opened me up. It cracked me open in so many ways. And one of those ways being that I started exploring that ability a lot more and also tapping into the spiritual and metaphysical world. Basically a place where we know it exists, we just can't detect it from our physical senses. And so then later on, universe introduced me to Reiki during my healing process, and it really helped me through my grief and also shown me a different way of being and really got me connected much deeper to my spiritual self and spirituality. And it continues to do so today. And Reiki in itself is spiritually guided life force energy. And I believe one really has to have their own experience and probably several, and also be open to the experience and receptive of it in order to really even grasp what spiritually guided life force energy even means.
Wow. So that's great that you said that, because I think that I asked that question of some people, does somebody have to believe in this energy healing in order for it to work? But you're saying you think it helps. Can it work if somebody doesn't believe in it?
Yes, energy is energy. So it's going to work either way. It's just the person is going to be more aware and conscious of the things that are happening around them, the situations and things like that, and the expansiveness of their consciousness when they are open to the experience.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So you work with Reiki, you work with other divination practices, you do other types of work with spirit. on different levels. Do you think that people have some misconceptions about what that might look like or what it can do?
Well, I believe that there is unfortunately still a belief that anybody working with any healing modality or any divination practice, such as with the tarot or any divination practice, that we are working with evil and that we are somehow sacrilegious. And I just want to say that that belief is simply not true and it must be eradicated. And I do believe it will in the next few years. Even in the Bible, it talks about how in 1 Corinthians, Paul talks about how there's many gifts. We all have gifts. There's people who have gifts of healing, gifts of prophecy, gifts of wisdom, and many more. And also Jesus in the Bible said that we could do everything he did and greater. So I just wanted to remind people of that, and also to encourage those that may be still on the fence about any healing modality, to really trace back to where that belief came from. Is it their own belief because of a personal experience, or is it a belief that they adopted from somebody else? And if that's the case, then that's not even really their belief. And then I would almost want to challenge these people as well to go and have an experience, go and get your own personal experience with a healer, with a reader, a reputable one, and determine your belief based upon your personal experience.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I know it feels like, I don't know, people say witchcraft or all these other things at first, especially, like I'll say about my mom, I was raised Catholic. She's very into the Bible and church and all of that. And she doesn't believe any of this really, although she believes so much in the power of prayer. I don't think prayer is much different than working, that's working with spirit, I think.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So, you believe that we should be merging the spiritual and physical realms. So tell us what that means to you and why you feel it's important.
So I honestly believe that the human consciousness cannot expand. Therefore, our evolution cannot occur without the merging of the two. And we all have both of these fundamental elements within us. So let's call the mind of the personality, the ego, and the consciousness of the soul, the spiritual aspect of yourself. And most people, it seems like, have forgotten, for whatever reason, to include their spiritual self. Of course, we live in a physical world, and our ego is concerned with surviving in this physical existence. We have to eat, we still have relationships, we still have to make a living. But it's when we get too caught up in that physical world, when we get too complacent with it, and when we get too attached to it, our life can become unsatisfying and unmanageable. I mean, we're forgetting the other half of us, and the soul's consciousness just wants to expand. That's what we're here for. As a soul, we're here to grow. So you have to include it. And it's a very gradual process. And I'll go over some exercises you can do in a moment to merge the two. But when you do merge the soul into the personality, your life completely changes in a much more healthier and positive way. The soul is concerned with the humanity and the nature of humanity evolving, and just the love. It's motivated by selfless love and service to others. It's guided by wisdom, and it's just concerned with how we are all connected and the bigger picture of things. And so when your personality is led or guided by the soul, that's when you can really create a life that is fulfilling, it's abundant, it's satisfying, and you can sustain it because you are basically walking in two worlds at the same time. You're using both elements and merging them together. So how do we do this? How do we start working with spirit and our soul and merging that into our personality? So I'll go over 3 examples. One, I definitely encourage people to stop watching the news. It is false programming that keeps everybody in a state of fear, and fear is not of God. It keeps you stuck in the matrix, as we say. Whatever you are supposed to know, you will find out. Believe me, you'll find out somehow. Yes, it's great to be aware of what's going on in the world, but you don't have to be watching the news every day, stuck in that low vibration. Just try it for a week and see how different you feel after you stop watching the news. So another example suggestion that you can start today is really blessing your food. Every meal, you can be very conscious of your eating. And I don't mean just saying a prayer over it. I mean, turn off all of the gadgets, the electronics, and really participate in conscious eating. Bless every hand that your food passed through in order to get to your table. You can bless the farmers, the truck drivers and their family, the grocery store employees and their family, the restaurant workers, and who prepared your food, and see how we are all connected just with this one thing. Then you can take that a step further and think about the nutritional value this food is going to give you, and then your body really turning that into the energy you need to do something productive and help others. And then once you practice that, that's going to open your mind even more. And then you're going to start being aware of other practices, how you can incorporate that into other practices, other daily activities, not just eating. The third one I'll mention is really evaluating your relationships. So I believe that every relationship has a spiritual component. It doesn't matter if it's a spouse, family member, coworker, whoever. So to really start evaluating how they are helping you grow, and are you helping the other person in the relationship grow as well? Are you doing, your work as well? And if you're not, and if they're not helping you grow, then it's time to reevaluate the relationship. And those are the ways that you can start merging your soul into your personality, and then start really living a high vibrational life.
Yeah, that sounds great. I love that. And it's simple. What you just talked about is so simple, right? Stop watching the news, bless your food, and, think about bringing spirit into your relationships and what that means. Very simple. I love that. I just want to say the news thing, several years ago, I told my brother, look, I'm not watching the news anymore. If anything happens that I need to know, please call me. And he does. So it works. It's great because you're right. It really bogs us down because we don't have control over so much of it. And so, yeah, I like that. So you just talked about, and your title is all about the importance of embodying a high vibrational frequency. Tell us, what does that mean?
Well, Sue, let me ask you, have you ever walked into a room after a couple just finished having a really bad argument?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What did it feel like?
Heavy and tense.
Okay. And then what about walking into a room after a bunch of ladies just had an episode of major boisterous laughter?
Awesome. It feels light. It feels like I want to be there. It's attractive.
Yes, exactly. So we are all embodying a certain frequency at all times. And we are all interacting with other people's frequency at all times when you are surrounded by other people. It doesn't matter if you're walking down the road with your dog. It doesn't matter if you're in Walmart. We are unconsciously and consciously, if you're aware of it, interacting with energy. And it's basically a spectrum. So you choose what part of the spectrum you want to participate at. Emotions are, you are not your emotions. And I know that can be tough, especially whenever life brings us challenging situations. We can really get attached to the emotional component of these situations. But you can detach from them and choose what part of the spectrum you want to participate at. So if you are vibrating at, like, say, a low vibrational frequency of shame, fear, guilt, jealousy, anger, all of those are very low vibrational, you are going to attract, like attracts like. You are going to attract all of these situations that are just going to feed that cycle. Then you're going to have a low vibrational life. I don't think many people want that. So once you know that you can choose to rise above those, to live in a state of peace, joy, love, happiness, gratitude, you're going to attract those situations that are going to continue to feed that. And your external world is going to reflect your internal world. So basically is how do you want to show up for yourself? How do you want to show up for life and others? And at what state do you want to be creating your life from? That's why it's so important. It's so important.
Yeah, it absolutely matters for sure. I mean, we all want to feel good at a very base level. That's what it is. When your vibration is higher, your frequency is higher, you feel better.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So now, Brooke, you work with inner child healing and shadow work. So tell us, why is that important for raising our vibration and keeping it high?
It's not only important, but it's necessary. So the shadow work is when you bring to your awareness all of the things that you have suppressed, maybe even suppressed so long that you forgot were even a part of you. But all of the dark aspects of yourself, the things that you don't want to look at, the things that you are ashamed of, feel guilty about, whatever doesn't feel really good to you, those things. And it's important to do the shadow work because you're going to look at them and heal that perspective that you have of yourself, and then you'll be able to love yourself. That piece, those pieces of you are not going away. They're never going to go away. They are you. They are a part of you. And when you are working and dealing with energy and raising your vibrational frequency, you have to love yourself in totality. So you might as well start loving all of you now. And shadow work really helps you to do that and to heal and shift your perspective. The inner child work is also necessary too, because this is when you look at your core wounds and your false belief systems that you picked up as a child. Most everybody picked things up as a child that a caretaker or a school teacher, anybody older, something that they said, and we took it on as our truth. Because we didn't know any better. We were a child. And so then we took this on, whatever statement it may have been. It's normally about not being good enough, not being lovable, things of that nature. So we took this on, this belief on, and unconsciously, maybe even consciously, has played it out our whole life. And so inner child healing is really whenever we go in ourselves and figure those false beliefs out and transmute them, because they never were ours to begin with. You have to incorporate all of this just to love all of you.
That's great. So you've worked with a lot of clients with this work. So say somebody has done inner child work with you or the shadow work with you. What do they experience on the other side of that?
Well, after they start really crying and understanding that how powerful that is, they just really connect the dots of how they have played this out in from a child all the way up to adulthood, and then how to shift that because it's no longer their truth. So then they can adopt way more healthier beliefs.
So then their vibration obviously is lifted as well. So that's great. So it's a big difference. So Brooke, you've gone through a lot of stuff in your life, and how do you know, like, how did you know you got on the right path for yourself? And how can someone else know that if they are on the right path for themselves in their life?
Energetically speaking, I would say you feel expansive. You don't feel like every day is a chore. Actually, the baseline of every day is joy and curiosity about and happy, like to not know what's going to happen next, but to be open to it. Life just flows. It just flows. You feel like you're flowing downstream instead of upstream. And you become magnetic to the people, places, situations, careers, opportunities. You become magnetic to these that you really want in your life to begin with. That's what it's like. It feels like freedom.
I love that. So this has been great, Brooke. I think that what you shared with us is great. I think that you helped us all in this, short time raise our own vibration. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I know that there are listeners that would like to learn more about you, and I know you have a gift for them too. So please tell us where we can find that and also find you.
Okay, so the gift is a free 30-minute Reiki session with me, whether that be virtual or in person. And you can sign up to my email list. That's how you're going to get it. Sign up to my email list at the bottom of my homepage, which is healing-begins-within.com. Enter your email address and then also the code word alignment. So I know it's you guys. So healing-begins-within.com and sign up for my email list.
Awesome. Wonderful. Well, Brooke, thank you so much. You're great. I love your energy. I love your spirit. I love all of the things that you just shared with us. And I really do love your story in the book too. I had the opportunity to read it, of course, ahead of time. It's really moving and compelling. And wow, you went through some stuff. So I appreciate you sharing that and opening yourself up for everyone to inspire them. And I love that you're part of this whole project. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sue. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of it.
You are welcome.
You have no idea how much I appreciate it. And I'm so grateful and humbled to be a part of this.
That's awesome. Thank you. We feel the same. And listeners, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on your own journey of alignment. Thank you for opening yourself up and meeting all of these amazing authors. Be sure to buy the book, Women Living in Alignment, on launch day. If you go to our website, womenlivinginalignment.com, we will guide you to the appropriate Amazon page for your country, and then you'll be able to buy this book. And on launch day, November 2nd, we have a 99-cent Kindle launch. So if you're into Kindle, that's the perfect day to buy it. If you like the paperback instead, that's also available there. And that's November 2nd. So, and when you come back to our website, after you buy it at Amazon, bring your receipt number and you'll be able to get about 50 gifts from our partners and authors. So there, you're going to love those gifts. So definitely do that and continue your journey. Please listen to the rest of this summit because these women are absolutely amazing. And have a beautiful day, everybody. Bye for now.